Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 268. It is the second day of the week, aka the special beam cannon workout. I am feeling alright. It's a little hot in here, but it is what it is. Anyways, back to the main subject matter for today. As you've probably seen by the title and the thumbnail, is nepotism ruining the arts? Probably. And the reason why I say this, well, we'll get into details when we get to Mother Base. But now I want to say, before I even start this, I'll start as to why this subject matter even came up. I was watching over the weekend, the second weekend of Coachella, because I like making fun of the bands that are there. And one of them that was playing was this lady named Claro. I have no idea how to pronounce it. But while watching her and listening to her and trying to figure out where we would listen to this type of music, I was reading the comments in the live chat because they were just scrolling up on my screen. So I was like, oh, let's read this. And so when I read it, I saw that there was somebody who said, she's a Nepo baby, but she's really talented, so it doesn't matter. So then I was like, what does this mean? So I looked her up and then I was like, oh, her father is somebody like one of the creators or one of the main guys for Topgolf. So I was like, oh, this is very interesting. So that makes things a little bit more, all right, like more, okay, I see how it is. And I think the main reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I'm a person that likes the arts a lot, but I have a special credit to give those that are genuine and have gotten there on talent versus luck and or pushing and or money, because those are the types of people that end up ruining things. And I think that now you can see this in a lot of art forms, a massive variety of art forms, is the idea that if you just have a shitload of money, you can fast track your way to the front and it doesn't even matter really. Your messaging, artistry, all of that could be shit. Now she might be talented for what I could tell, she knows how to sing, but realistically, I have no interest in this type of music and I don't really care. Obviously, I'm talking about Coachella, so it's nothing there for me. It's really nothing. It's just nothing there for me. So that was something that I was like, nah, I'm good. This isn't my target audience. But then it makes me think, all right, what other things are there where people are just brought up through nepotism and now they are in my face because of it. And now I have to kind of like figure out if I genuinely like them or if they just happen to have the machine backing behind them. And this is all just not even just in music, but in movies, TV shows, even though I don't watch much TV, YouTube, anything, artistry, anything like that, where you just kind of have to look and be like, this is very interesting. There's an entire methodology which we will touch upon, which is called the Kingmaker system in streaming particularly, which we'll talk about it in the voiceover. But for now, I just want to say, if you know of any singer-songwriter, digital artist, streamer, YouTuber, or any other person that creates in some way, shape, or fashion that is somehow interconnected with somebody else, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to know I'd love to know more of these types of people, because I would like to know and just understand where the connections are. Because realistically, will this judge my like to dislike of the person? Yes, but at the same time, let's see if it's valid or not. You know, there are certain people that might be, like the girl said in the comment, they are Nepo baby, but they are talented. But at the same time, they kind of cancel each other out, right? So it's kind of interesting. So yeah, I just would like to know some that I may not know of, and it's just curious to see, and maybe if we can find like a database about these types of things, because I feel like these things should probably be disclosed, but yet some people would just be like, no, you shouldn't know that. You should know my father is CIA or some random shit like that, which already brings up red flags, really, right? It's just like, why would you want to hide this or not make this known? So very interesting stuff when it comes to that type of things. And of course, I know there's going to be people who say like, that shouldn't matter or whatever, blah, 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 blah. It does matter. As much as you would like to think it doesn't, it does matter, because you can see a lot of the arts, boo! A lot of it now, modern day, suck, but it's a whole other subject for a whole other day. With that being said, though, I will see you at Mother Base. All right, so started this day off with squats, which were pretty good. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand. Nepotism ruining the arts? Probably. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I have a feeling that many of the people that are elevated in the, well, just not only music scene, but in general of the arts, which includes artistry, Instagram, and or other popular social medias, as well as filmmaking and other things like that, usually have the boost up that many people who don't have their access to connections and money more than anybody else, which is a very unfortunate thing. I think that we will see this more and more often, and it will be more and more apparent. I feel like people should be more aware of those who are a part of some type of family or some type of nepotism in order to show that they are there and then truly judge them based on their talent and whatnot. I think that at the end of the day, that's technically what matters, but also the biggest factor of it all. I think that regardless of whether they have the money or not, the talent would be there. But still, there is a very valid argument to be made about the fact that the talent that is there might not actually be fully talented on their own, one, and two, could have blossomed because of the access to money that they already had, allowing them to not worry about other things and be able to fulfill, or if not develop, the talent further. Maybe, like, let's say if naturally somebody has, let's say, a 2 out of 10 talent pool, but because they have the connections, the money, and the wherewithal to not need to worry about other things, can develop it into an 8 out of 10 talent pool. That is a little bit different. Obviously, that kind of ruins things for other people. Let's say they're naturally talented at a 6 out of 10 natural ability, but because of the fact that they cannot do anything about it, let's say they have to live a normal life, they have to develop the talent around them, but they don't have the ability to continue it. Thus, you get the idea of them being still a 6 out of 10. Thus, the person who had all the connections and the nepotism in their life was able to get past them, which is very abhorrent because maybe they cap at 8 out of 10, but the other one who was a 6 out of 10 with the right resources could have been a 10 out of 10. Who knows? But that's the thing, right? Really? It's just really dependent on the luck of the draw. I'm not even necessarily that angry about it per se, but it is a shitty thing to happen. Let's be honest and real about it. I don't think anybody would like this idea, or people that have the ability to do it to be the only people to do it. And sports has this issue as well, but we'll get about that into a different episode. That isn't for this one. I have a feeling that because of the fact that there are so many connections and so many things that will help these people out, it will keep perpetuating these people that are just connected to rich families and will never hear the end of it. And it sucks for those who aren't connected to like rich families, because then they have to work they have to work twice as hard to get half the time that somebody else is there. It just sometimes truly is the luck of the draw, but it is also something that is very interesting in the sense that if you don't know somebody somewhere, you're kind of screwed. If we look at somebody, I'm going to give a few examples. For example, one of the small ones that I know for a fact is that Taylor Swift used to be the babysitter for Jeff Jarrett's kids, which is a very specific thing, but he was a not that big wrestler, but she became a huge superstar and has a relationship with the kids. And I know that sounds very like, okay, that's whatever, but there are other examples of this and other examples of it where they connect back to government. I'm looking at you, Courtney Love, and your CIA father. I'm looking at you. That will probably be determinant on whether or not they are successful. There are a few other examples. The most popular one that I've recently seen was Sabrina Carpenter, I believe. She is the niece of Nancy Cartwright, who you may or may not know as the voice of Bart from The Simpsons. How did that happen? Funny how that works, right? All of a sudden, if you start connecting the dots, oh my God, they're all interconnected. Look at that. Can you trust any of them? Probably not. These are the same types of people that will use stories like, I started from nothing and worked my way up and all this bullshit, when in reality, they were in mommy and daddy's pockets the entire time. And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed. None. Exercises skipped. Well, we have one, the calf raises, but that's just because I'm having foot issues, but not really. Well, kind of. Foot kind of hurts, so whatever. But it is what it is. But anyways, back to the main subject matter for today. Nepotism. Is it ruining the arts? And it probably is. Realistically so, I think it is more of an issue than people probably realize. I think we are so numb to the idea that people use others in order to get farther in these industries, and now it's come to the point where it's just kind of expected. And I feel like that is something that we should fight against, mostly because realistically it's only going to lead to the stagnation of things and the real chase of the bottom dollar, and that's really it. That's why you can see in modern music now, half of the music that comes out now is either remakes of old songs or boring or foreign, which is a whole other subject for a whole other day. But a lot of it is just recycled hash over and over again because there is a lack of creativity, because nobody new gets the actual shot that they deserve, and instead we get the same regurgitated people over and over again that happen to be the son and or daughter and or cousin and or whatever of whomever. It's like there are certain levels to, yes, they may be talented, but there's also people that are probably more talented than them that don't get the recognition that they can, or they just get thrown behind the scenes and thus they get fucked over, or even worse, they just get straight up stolen from, and you never hear from them because they don't have the money or the lawyers in order to be able to fight that, because they got money and they have the connections, so they could just say fuck you. Which is funny because I feel like a lot of people don't realize that they can be the person that gets stomped out, and that's it, they're just done because the other person took their idea and just said fuck you. And that's really the worst part about something like that, is that they have the resources that the regular person doesn't have, so thus you have to kind of pray and hope to God that you are the exception that gets through somehow, and without any backing, or you just happen to know someone. Really, it really does suck, and I feel like it's putting a strain on all the arts that happen, all of them, because every single one, you cannot trust anybody that comes up all of a sudden that may or may not be genuine, because you don't even know. You don't know if all of a sudden this person is the cousin of X, or the brother of Y, or the family member of Z, and it's all just kind of an issue that I think that is just going to become worse and worse, especially with the arts. But even apparently it's becoming an issue in the NBA. This is going to be a whole other subject matter, I think, for a different day, but apparently that's also becoming an issue as well, where apparently the NBA particularly is starting to get to the point where now it's like only rich kids happen to be able to afford to be able to go to all of like the games that they're supposed to in order to get better and everything else. So thus that's why you see a lot of people in the league now that are basically the kids of former players because they have the money. But it's a whole other subject for a whole other day. We'll talk about sports and nepotism in a different day, because that's kind of different as well, because that involves genetics. But anyways, I think that when it comes to the arts, I think this is just the worst, because realistically there's so many people who want to get into the arts, and the arts is such a low barrier to enter, but then all of a sudden the bar becomes so high and exponentially higher if people have the financial backing or the knowing of a certain person backing, that just might just fuck anybody else over. It's really shitty to think about, because now you're just kind of stuck in an endless rut of of just trying everything you can at the wall, and it doesn't seem like anything works, but the wall is so high that you have no real options. I mean, that's it, and you're kind of fucked. You could be the most talented person in the world, but nobody's gonna really listen to you unless you do something crazy, and or your talents take you that far. But realistically, you have to have a stroke of luck, and it sucks. But I really do hope that if you're watching this, you don't lose hope and you luck out, honestly, because I feel like if I were to be a person that wants to see those types of things grow, it would be that. I want to see people who are actually talented and genuine actually have success on here or anywhere when it comes to artistry. So, with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this one. This one was more of a random one, but kind of a continuation one. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions about this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Keep it heavy. Stay safe out there. Well, it's kind of hot now, so stay cool, I guess. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace!